Well, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all online and can hear me. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 17th Armourers and Brasiers Cambridge Forum, and of course, our first forum online. I'm Bill Bonfield. I have the privilege of wearing two hats, one as Chairman of Materials Science for the Armourers and Brasiers, and the other as an emeritus professor in the Department of Materials Science and Metallurgy in Cambridge. Normally, of course, we would be in Cambridge on what is a beautiful day. We would have our lectures in the Cavendish Lecture Theatre. We would perambulate to take a reception on the terrace in the department, and then we would conclude with a dinner in Sydney, Sussex, and then an after-dinner stop at the Pickerel. So altogether, where better to be in the world on a beautiful June day? However, what we have found, of course, is that by going online, we have actually accessed a wider audience, and this is important. The mission of this forum is to present material science as a cause for celebration, not just for the cognoscenti, the insiders, but for everybody who needs to be aware of what material science can do to transform society, whether it be the green digital economy, whether it be health, whether it be sustainability. As we all know, material science underpins everything. And the idea in the beginning was then to create this annual forum to bring the best of material science on an international stage to this forum, both to inform the cognoscenti, the material scientists, but also to spread the message to the generalists, to government, to industry, and to the public at large. At the beginning, in 2004, when we started, we recognized that to make this objective achievable, we needed actually to make it free. In other words, anybody could access this and could be informed. And for that, we required sponsorship. We required somebody to pick up the costs. Initially, it was the company, the Armourers, but since then, we've been joined by other sponsors, our industrial partners, who I'm going to mention, AWI, Royce, the Welding Institute, the Materials Processing Institute, and the Institute of Materials, and the Royce Institute as sponsors. This has made it all possible. And the outcome this year, which is fantastic, is that we have doubled, or even more, our normal attendance. As we stand, we are 389 registrants and ramping upwards. Well, what a fantastic result. This is what we wanted to achieve. Now, to make it all possible, we needed a lot of people helping in Cambridge and at the Armourers. And I want to mention, of course, the chief linchpin in Cambridge, who has done this role from the beginning, and that's Professor Lindsey Greer. Lindsey started this, in fact, it was his concept in the beginning. We started in 2004. And annually, he has pulled together the program. And of course, this year for the department, it's a fantastic year because it's 100 years since it was founded, as we shall learn later, in one of the colleges in Cambridge. And what I did then was to persuade Lindsey that it would actually be very helpful for us to start this symposium with a reflection on the last 100 years. What has it taught us about the progress of material science? How has it developed? What are the lessons? What are the potentials for the future? It will be the first time we've heard Lindsey, but I'm delighted that he did agree and will start us off. For the Armourers, of course, my colleague Anne-Marie Cliff, who's the Chief Executive of the Gauntlet Trust, has done much of the heavy lifting, but of course is always ably assisted by an excellent team headed by the master, Mike Goulet, about, I will say more later, and a very supportive court. And this year, the third leg of this stall has been Mark Gordon and his team, who have built the platform that I hope you're seeing me on, and will allow us to communicate and to continue this tradition. And for the future, who knows, we may well have a hybrid. The whole talk is about hybrid education, a hybrid where we bring together both face-to-face, but also this opportunity for online access. With respect to the platform, most of you are actually more expert than I, but your key icon in the left-hand column is the talks. You are in this talk. I think you will gravitate automatically to the next session. But as you look down that column, you also see one of the other features of the forum that I want you to embrace. And that is the opportunity to access other icons where you can look at the sponsors, you can look at the exhibitors, you can have chats. In other words, you can do the networking, which we have found is absolutely pivotal in a forum. You meet people you haven't met, you meet old friends, but also you do some business. You find out things that will actually help you to progress and move forward. So please look at that. One icon particularly, which there is a session, but I want to draw your attention to, is in fact the poster session. These are our younger researchers who are actually showing off how they're going to change the world. Fantastic. Have a look. You'll enjoy it. With respect to the program, we have the usual eclectic mix of topics covering a range of things which we hope will have interest both for the specialists and for the generalists. We will also have what proved popular in 2019, of brief encounters, the ultimate challenge for any person wanting to pitch is to do it in 3 minutes. And we've got a group of our young researchers who are going to do that. And there will be a competitive edge because it doesn't hurt to always have that element of competition. So that will then take us into our equivalent of the Oscars ceremony, where we present the winner of our Armourers and Brasiers Venture Prize competition. It's not insignificant, it's £25,000, and it's a competition nationally for the best proposal for a piece of research, but with commercial legs. We've been doing this for over 10 years. We have 8 companies still viable. We have one that went to an M&A already. And this year, we were surprised when we started the competition again with the quality of the entrants, and I think you will enjoy the winner. And then we culminate with another landmark, which we inherited from another series in Cambridge, and that is the Kelly Lecture. This is in honor of my great friend and colleague, Professor Tony Kelly, one of the materials pioneers. Again, the insiders among you will know precipitation hardening in aluminium alloys was his contribution seminally with Robin Nicholson, and then later leading on to composites and his excellent book on strong solids. So we commemorate him. Each year we have a distinguished lecturer. And this year, to echo the international dimension, we're delighted that Professor Raab from the Max Planck Institute in Germany has agreed to give a talk on a topic that is going to be very relevant to us all. And we're very grateful that he is participating. Another point is today, as you all know, is an auspicious day for us because it is also the day where we celebrate women's role in engineering. So this is the International Women's Day in Engineering. And what I would suggest to you is if you look at our program, you see that already diversity is writ large in material science, and that the gender in question is already leading the way for many of us. I wish you all a stimulating, productive, and enjoyable afternoon. and I hope we will see you again next year. And with that, I conclude my talk, and I invite you then to transition to the next session, which will be chaired by my colleague, Professor Ruth Cameron. Thank you very much for your attention.